Okay, we on? Pretty sure we're on. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Sir Crosspad the Pink Knight, and as promised... Oh, no, my monitor. My stream monitor, hold on. Turn the volume down. There we go. But I'm Sir Crosspad the Pink Knight, and I'm gonna draw Zero Suit Samus, corrupted by Phazon, because that was something that came up during my last stream I did. Hey, what's up, Ducky? And it sounded like a cool idea, and people said they would watch it. So I got a little bit of a head start here on what I was doing. Hopefully, my final result will look good. I'm a decent artist, but I'm also a toxic perfectionist. So that's why you guys are here, to boost my ego that normally tears me down. But anyway, let's get to the art. All right, so we start with simple bone structure. As always, with drawing like this, do I have my stabilizer on? I do not. Let's turn that on. And then let's start going. Oh, wrong layer. There, correct layer. Well, I have the unfortunate problem of the kind of ego that likes to tear down the self rather than build up the self. I've been learning that's actually still a form of being too centered on the self, and it's something that I need to work on. But it's a different kind of being centered on the self. You guys get to see me butcher the hands to start with, and then fix them repeatedly as time goes forward. I picked out a selection of Metroid-themed music covers from various artists. Once the stream's done, I will do what I can to, put their stuff in the description so y'all can look them up. They are all very talented peoples. Gotta love that View-Rose theme from Metroid Prime 4, am I right? Stuff's amazing. Okay, I think that's a good basis for the hands. I'm not gonna work on the fingers yet. The fingers always get me. That's where most of the problems are gonna arise. Just watch. Reaching. All right. Get the other bicep. Maybe a little more separation. The shoulder muscle. Give a little more illusion of the tension in the arm. That looks slightly better to me. Because it's a little more tightened up. If the music is too loud compared to my voice, let me know if my compressor is not doing its job. based on what I'm seeing here, the audio ducking is working fine. But if it seems weird, or if it seems boxy, or if the audio for any reason is giving anyone any trouble, please let me know. Because that tends to happen in my streams. Okay, so and the muscle is gonna kind of down. Oh, too much. Too much. That foreshortening, though. Oh boy, that foreshortening, though. Boost. Okay, so boost the. Let's reduce the music volume then. And slightly boost the voice volume. There. That's better. Yes? No, the foreshortening on that. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at my reference, and the foreshortening on this arm, it goes all the way down to this corner, and the hand is like right here. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and draw the wrist kind of down here. That's a little too far down. Yeah, we're gonna put kind of a placeholder wrist. It's made out of like a crude, like cowbell type shape. Okay, there we go. And then we meet the muscle with the wrist. There we go. This is why we use references. I actually prepared this reference in advance using a little program on mobile called Magic Poser. It's on the App Store for iOS. I don't know if it's on Android, but Magic Poser is very nice. I don't necessarily recommend their subscription. However, they do have like a one-time payment thing of like, what? Some like $10, I think. And that unlocks a lot of like shapes and models and poses. You can, you know, put the model together. That's what this is right here. This thing, this puppet thing. This is like my reference for the pose and what I've been trying to reconstruct here. Okay, so that knee is almost at the bottom. That knee is probably at the line of the first third. That might need to be a little bit higher up. Like there. And then we'll do the knee there, and then we'll get the eraser and kind of clean that up just a smidge. There we go. Got him. Binga binga bunga bunga binga binga. Yeah, see that's the thing. I don't have like someone outside of my little booth here that can monitor for me. So like Ducky, you're a lifesaver. You fixed my audio problem very early on in the stream, so people don't walk in and be like, "Oh God, this guy's audio is terrible. I can't with these new YouTubers and their small channels and their terrible audio quality." I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Metroid Prime 3 theme song done in orchestral. I know, right, Ducky? Look at him with his stupid pink helmet, right? Wait. That's me. Okay, so that comes down like a cone shape almost. I know that some of the music gets louder than others, so again, I really hope my compressor's doing its job. Always struggle with those leg muscles, man. You do more studies. So it goes, it's more straight. It goes more in a more or less straight line. Then it's got that bumpy right there. And then the knee bones. And then the kneecap up. Dum dum dum. It's kind of a similar deal here, but the line is going to terminate quite a ways that way. Okay, it's just somewhat of leg muscle. Okay, and then the other foot is the other foot slash calf is so foreshortened there that it doesn't even show up. The clavicle bone here so that we can have that. Ugh, too much. Oh. Also, for the keen-eyed out there, I don't like to give Adobe my money. So instead, I'm using a program called Affinity Photo. That one was kind of making the rounds a while back when Adobe changed their terms of service so that they're like, hey, yeah, we can train like all of our AI bots on all the stuff you make, even if it's copyrighted and even if you're a professional working for like a large corporation that owns that copyrighted material, and you can't do anything about it, otherwise you just can't use the software. So so yeah, got recommendations for Affinity Photo. Like many artists, I promptly learned how to use that to the best of my ability, and just kind of just kind of said goodbye to the dreaded Adobe. Yeah, I know, right? It's not even... Look, like, these companies, if they were just greedy and pragmatic about it, like, if they were literally just like, oh, we want to make more money, then they wouldn't make stupid decisions like this. They really wouldn't. I feel like these are people that they like lead with, I don't know, control and they just it's like a weird megalomania. It's like an obsession for them. Okay, that's a little off. Slightly off. Okay. Closer into the collarbone there. And then make sure we more or less get the symmetry here as well. This is a remix of the Sunken Frigate from Metroid Prime 1. This is like the most chill Metroid track ever. Like I don't even think you can find a more chill one in the 2D Metroids. And those do tend to be slightly more chill in their compositions. There we go. I think the rib cage goes a little farther down as far as that foreshortening is concerned. Okay, got most of the body blocked out. Now I gotta work on the dreaded fingies. The dreaded burb lady fingies, because Samus is a burb lady. Chicky fingies, if you will. Space chicky. Just for the record, it is space chicky blood that is in Samus's system within her genetic code. However, it is chicky. Tastes the same. Don't ask me how I know that. Ah. R2, that stabilizer's broken loose again. See if you can't lock it down. That is a big pinky. Perhaps too big? Too fat? Too wide? I also have a tendency, because like I spent so much time referencing my own hands for drawing, that like whenever I draw female characters, I tend to give them man hands and fingers, and I don't know, it's to mixed effect. I don't think Samus is going to be as much of a problem because she's supposed to be very strong, very athletic type, but yeah, it doesn't always work out for me. I got a knuckle. And then let's put another. I need to turn off the stabilizer for a second so that this follows my movements a little more closely. Metroid Prime 2. I believe these arrangements, all the bigger orchestral ones that I have here, they're by a user by the name of Wingus Dingus. It's a very silly name. It's a play on the font, Wingdings, if you're at all familiar. Do 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 do. Ha ha, I said do do. Okay, so that fingy is quite a bit larger when it comes to that exaggerated perspective. And then this one's gonna come all the way out here. I always gotta do like the underlying bone structure, otherwise it ends up looking awful. And then I'll kind of erase a little bit and clean this up because maybe too long. A little too long there. Alright. Let's try this again. Ish. Fingers bent more. Need to make her wrist wider, man. Those big meaty claws on the reference. Try to keep it more gestural and loose. Always got to remind myself of that. Okay. Hand and fingies one. I think it's passable. I think. Sometimes when you're working on stuff for a while, it can start bleeding together. Oh man. This cover right here that's about to play. This is by a I don't know if it's a band or just one guy. Anyway, you can look it up. It's called Stemage, Stemage, and they or he, depending on if it's a band or just one guy or something, did a bunch of Metroid metal covers like very soon after Metroid Prime 3 released. Like this is literally from like 2007, 2008, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it's amazing. It's amaze balls. Chugga chugga. Needs to be larger. Larger wrist. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Too much. Took too much off the wrist. I'm gonna end up truncating part of the fingers. Also, that thumb joint needs to go like way back. That's why it's looking wrong to me. Get the brush again. Yeah, give it like a ball joint. Because our thumb does have quite a bit of rotational movement. And then goes like down like this. It's a little too much. So that secondary joint was a little too chonk. Needs to like actually be attached and not floating. Looks better. Again, that may be a little too man-handy. Erase that. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I don't know how many parts I'm going to have to do on this, but I need to finish it. That's for certain, because I have a bad habit of not finishing art pieces that I start. Hold me to account on that, Dougie. Bug me if it's been a long time since I've finished this piece of corrupted Zero Suit Samus. Man, that acoustic. It's so good, man. And he down tunes it right there. He actually turns the knob on the head of the guitar, down tunes it in order to get that bow like crazy. He's so good. And the breakdown. The metal breakdown where everyone starts moshing in the mosh pit. Stream count for every stream that isn't this piece of art until it's done. I appreciate you, Ducky. Okay. Alright. So there's the figure blocked out. More or less. Wait, what's going on? Weird, that was glitching out for a second. We need like a pinky. We need a pinky splayed out here. Give it a little more tension in the hand. Alright. Now for the scary part. And I don't mean the Phazon corruption. I mean facial proportions. This can make or break everything. It's all too frequent that I'll like completely start sketching out a face, and then I'll even get to the point where like I'll start laying down base color and like basic shading, and then I'll come back and sit down the next day and I'll be like, no, my facial proportion is wrong. And then I have to like completely erase all of the detail work that I did with the colors and shading, and then I have to redo the freaking the freaking facial details, like from sketch on until line work and then color and then shadows. So many times that stuff happens. So the way that we're gonna alleviate this, or we're not gonna let it happen again, is return of the moshing machine. Maybe during the next metal covers, because there's a couple of them. Let's see here. Where was I? But yeah, the way that we alleviate facial proportions being problematic down the line is we're gonna do the facial proportions, okay, and then we're gonna work on other parts of the drawing, hopefully so that the facial proportions are not in view. So we're gonna like go hands or something, and then we'll get legs and feet and whatever else, and then we'll come back, and if it looks wrong to me, then I will fix, and if it looks wrong to you, you will tell me to fix. Yeah, the Phendrana Drifts Orchestral from Wingus Dingus. Awesome. Very awesome. Highly underrated. Wingus Dingus does some amazing orchestral arrangements from a bunch of different games, but apparently he or she is like a mega Metroid fan, because there's so many Metroid orchestral arrangements, and they're all so good. Alright, facial proportions. See, I'm already procrastinating. Like I haven't put down my stylus pen again because I'm worried. I'm worried, guys. I'm scared. I'm doubting my abilities. Let's name it Face Sketch. And then we'll rename this Body Sketch. Why did I join Sir Crosspad trying to sing like a Disney princess? Well, I mean, this is the Metroid equivalent of a Frozen Wonderland, so, you know. Let it go, Samus. Let it go. Let it go. Samus rises like the break of dawn. You know. I did. I had to let it go. Let go of your conscious self and act on instinct. Okay, face sketch. You guys are helping me with my procrastination here. I don't. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared of doing facial proportion stuff. I always mess it up. I gotta use the pencil trick. You can't see it because I don't have hand motion, but I'm holding my pencil stylus up to the thing to do like those eyeball measurements. Alright, we will go with cyan to contrast for the face sketch stuff. What do you think, guys? Should I go more like slightly Animu style eyes? I don't think I'm gonna go fully Animu style eyes, but slightly Animu style eyes. Or should I just keep it more grounded in realism and probably struggle a lot more as a result? Yeah, even that's the thing about faces, is like human beings are so attuned to like seeing faces and like analyzing facial expression. It legitimately makes it so that faces, like even the slightest change or difference in like the position of facial features, like you can very quickly end up in the uncanny valley. Slightly animated type would be good. Okay. So what? We want to go. I don't know if I'm gonna go like comic book or Justice League or something, but the mouth certainly is looking a lot more comic book. That's for sure. Already the nose is too high up. Okay. Structure. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe I am going more comic book. Maybe that'll just work for my style a little bit better. My personal art style has always been like a weird hybrid between like, it's like comic book style with a slight anime edge to it. And I feel like that's because like I grew up practicing like a lot of X-Men, but I also practice a lot of like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon stuff. Okay. So let's go to our reference here. Let's see. So this was from Metroid Dread, but that one's kind of... I wanted to go more Metroid Prime Remaster. Is kind of the approach I was gonna take. So Metroid Prime Remaster reference right here. As far as the face, you only get this screenshot if you get the 100% ending in Metroid Prime Remastered. And the face model in Metroid Prime Remastered, like, I've seen PS5 games that don't look this good, and this face model is on the Switch. It doesn't animate, so maybe that's where they're saving their processing budget. They probably don't have a whole lot of bones. It's not heavily animated or rigged. Most of what you see move when you see this face in the cutscene here, hold on. The cutscene here that shows is she blinks and then her eyebrows just kind of move just a smidge. That's it. So very minimally animated. I don't know if that makes a huge difference for processing power on the Switch, but it might. I don't know. All right. Subterranean Torvus Bog. I found a synthwave remix of this that is amazing. This is from Seiya Sounds. Saiya Sounds. Good stuff. They have like a little Michael Jackson outfit avatar with the white suit and the fedora from like the Smooth Criminal thing. Do. Again, I was procrastinating explaining all that stuff. But anyway, we're referencing Metroid Prime Remaster. We're just probably going to change the eyes a little bit to be a little more like animated looking. I think the jaw might be a little too hard. Let's soften that up a little bit. It goes like full on Cyberpunk 2077 right here. It's so good, dude. Say sounds, my hat's off to you. Oh, by the way, say sounds, if you ever happen to stumble upon this, I can do the singing. So, I don't know, if you want to shoot me a message, I'd be happy to provide some vocals. Playing with the rhythm a little bit, that's awesome. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it. That eye is not working. Oh, it's always the eyes, isn't it? That eye's working for me. Yeah. Okay. When in doubt, zoom out. If it looks weird when it's zoomed out, particularly at small sizes, then you gotta do some adjustment. And then the other thing you want to do is do a range, and then we're gonna flip horizontal. Whoa, what happened? What is that? Oh no! My rendering just wigged out. Hold on, let me try that again. Okay, now it worked. That was a little scary. That was slight jump scare there. Yeah, that jaw definitely needed to be softer. Eyes are too high up. Too high up. For fun vanish, yeah. For jump scare vanish as well. Goodness sake. I need to lasso these eyeballs and move them. Where's my lasso? Oh, it's a marquee. Yeah, just give me the free hand. Give me the free hand selection. We do this old school here. It's just easier for me that way. I don't know what it is about it. Okay. What? Why isn't it moving? Excuse? I don't understand why it's not moving. It keeps trying to select the rectangle below. I don't want that. I want this. Am I gonna have to cut it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it and then paste it. Paste it back on. Edit paste. Now it's on its own layer. Yep, now it moved. deselect there. See, this is what I'm talking about with facial proportions. The thing about this, the reason why eyes are so difficult is because eyes in particular express and convey more emotion than any other part of the face. So as a result, you can really, like, the eyes, if the eyes are off, it can really just give you that, because if you notice, like, it's crooked here and it looks weird. So I gotta cut that. Nope. What are you doing? From the face, edit, cut that, thank you. Now paste it back so that I can free move that eyeball. When in doubt, zoom out. It's looking better-ish. Something feels off that I can't quite put my finger on. I'm gonna group all these layers. Put them in a folder. Group layers right there. That way they'll all move in unison when I do the arrange. Flip. I guess when I flip it back to its original position, it's not as weird to my brain. There's just something about, like, flipping things like that like it almost, like, triggers, like, a different part of your brain, or it forces the part of your brain that analyzes those fine details to see it for what it is rather than filtering it through your perception. You know what I mean? When you're doing art, the key that you're always trying to unlock is the ability to draw what you actually see. And the thing is, it's very difficult to do that if you're constantly filtering things through your brain filter rather than... I'm very pleased with the nose structure here, though. That seems to have turned out quite well for me. When's the moshing machine starting this song? Not quite yet. This isn't the breakdown here. But oops. Okay. So now we're gonna put the hairline. By the looks of things, she does not have like a widow's peak or anything. It's just straight across. She does have a little peak right there on either side of her temples. Alright. Hairline. And it goes down kind of to her earlobe, almost. Not quite. Yeah, she's got it. Oh no, there's like a wisp of hair going all the way down here. Okay. I'm gonna need a different color for that. Hold up. Put it in yellow. Well, no, I can't reference this hair. That just dawned on me. I can't reference the hair from the helmet. I have to do the one here. I gotta do this. This render is from Metroid Dread. Someone made a render of it. I don't like how much blush is on that. It does not look good. That's not good makeup design. That's the mark of someone who does art but didn't study makeup. And believe it or not, that is something you want to study, even if you're a dude and you're doing art. Look at makeup. Look at how people contour their faces and stuff like that. It's very helpful, and it goes a very long way for adding a lot of visual interest to anything you're working on. Yeah, V knows what I'm talking about. So this is gonna go right to the center of her eye here. Those little wispy bangs that flow down. Very unprofessional of you, Samus. That stuff's dangerous. Not practical. This is exactly why Retro Studios went for the more like military bun in Metroid Prime Remastered. It's a lot more practical. But it is the aesthetic, so we're gonna honor the source material. I need the stabilizer, that's why that's acting funny. This one, I know exactly where the moshing machine starts. This cover was done by a lady named Lacey Johnson. And she's actually currently one of the band members of a band called Steam Powered Giraffe. They're like a steampunk themed band, and their stuff is all like really cool. All the way up and around here with that. All right, there we go. Got those wisps. This is where the moshing machine starts here, where it has the Parasite Queen motif from Metroid Prime 1, even though this is the Rundus boss fight from Metroid Prime 3. The weird long sideburns that are incredibly hard to grow out and maintain. Let's see. Follow the gravity. All right. Gravity is gonna take it kind of down this way. Sanctuary Fortress from Metroid Prime 2. Wow, 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 wow. Gotta love that. Those little arpeggiated, like, steps. Those arpeggiated note progressions. Awesome. Let's have a little more volume over here. Ponytail come down here a little bit. I don't know how that's gonna look. I don't know. We might not keep that. There's a potential we might remove that. Okay. So now we've more or less got facial proportions. Now I feel like I'm gonna have to work on like eyebrows and the mouth to try and get some expression. Because if this is going the direction I wanted it with the sci-fi horror theme, where she's slowly just being consumed by Phazon corruption, we're gonna need to exaggerate some of these expressive features here. Okay. Maybe Angie is a little too much. Eyebrows down. There we go. It's kind of like a fear expression is what we're going for. Go. So we're gonna have that stretched out up to there. Which one was this one? Oh, this was the Quadraxis fight. Let's lower that one just a smidge. That one comes in hot. Drops the bass on you like a ton of bricks. With those big old timpani drums. No, that's too smiley. We need kind of a frown line that gathers. Trying to give the impression of like gritted teeth here. No. It's kind of a basis. I'm in the neighborhood. Facial expressions are also tricky. That's why I always start with like a basic face and then I'll raise those up a little bit. Oh, too much. Kind of giving the impression of the facial expression I want. That mouth is not working out. More Phendrana remix. From somebody by the name of Varia. Phendrana's Ruin. Metroid Prime remix. Threw some Chozo ruins in there as well. Okay, so we're getting there. Some tweaking here and some tweaking there. We're getting there. This is just as a temporary thing. We'll brush in some darker areas here. I think that's a decent basis. Eyebrows are going to need a little bit more iteration. And then a big part of how we always kind of get that fear expression is we kind of shrink the irises. And what that does is that gives the illusion that the eyes are like really, really wide, like almost unnaturally so. I know it's pretty rough right now, but this is our start. This is our impression of what we gonna get, more or less. Because the whole design again is to kind of make it look like she's crawling through like a bunch of rubble and wreckage. Probably on the GFS Valhalla or something like that. That was in the last stream, if y'all remember. That was the derelict Galactic Federation ship. But I'm gonna try and give it kind of the impression that it's like on the GFS Valhalla, and the Phazon corruption is just too much. She took too long. This is the AU where she failed her mission, I guess. Which is really sad when you think about it. Sad not just for Samus, but for the universe. That means that the planet Phase breaks out and starts infecting other planets with Phazon, taking over the galaxy like some hive-minded virus controlled by Dark Samus. Big yikes. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna put that the hair sketch in the group here, so that yeah, everything's together. I will call this the sketch group. Keep our work organized. And then from there, we can actually do like a macro opacity adjustment so that, you know, we can start working on line work. So V says, I don't know how the hell you do anything sort of makeup, so I use photo references because my OCs have different clothing styles. Yeah, always use references. 100%, and preferably like photorealistic ones. I mean, I did a couple of studies before I did this in hopes that like it would give me a better result at the end, using photo references. But this is all the references we have up for the stream. Okay. All right. So now this is going to be our line art. Start with the face line. I always like to do faces first because there's something psychologically that like it makes everything else in the drawing kind of fall into place afterwards. If you can get a decent face, something about it just like gives your brain a better sense of proportion and space. So we're gonna go for facial details first. Okay, and then a rule that I was always taught is you never go full black. Whenever you're doing line work, you always want to leave just a smidge of something. And because we're going with Phazon corruption, we're gonna make the lines slightly like a dark cyan, like a dark cyanish gray. Just add a hint of color to it. Right there. I don't know. I'd say that's pretty solid for an hour of work. An hour to do my sketches. That's probably pretty typical, especially for something this foreshortened. Okay, so we're gonna go. Does that have? No, that's just opacity. That's not. Yeah, we want to. There we go. Now we got some of the tapered line strokes. I always like to have that. Let's turn the stabilizer down to 20 pixels of length so it's not so extreme. The lines need to be a little thicker. gotta reduce the opacity of the sketch even more. It's getting a little distracting. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Again. Yep. It's gonna be a problem. Yep, the mouth is gonna be a problem. Bringing it up a little bit seems to work. I'm on the wrong layer again. Got the sketch clouding my vision. It looks okay. Getting there. Another Phendrana Drifts remix. That song in Metroid Prime 1 is so good, like arguably the best track in all of Metroid. So it stands to reason that there be so many remixes of that one. Okay, there we go. No stabilizer, we're just filling in space here. There we go. Looks human-like. Problem is, it's a little off on the rest of the facial proportion. There we go. Moving it down seems to have helped. Alright. Sorry, my model tends to... If my camera loses sight of me for a second, my model tends to wig out a little bit. So turn the stabilizer back on. Flare the nostrils. You want all that emotion coming forward. Too much. Chozo Ruins was actually, like, it's not a bad track necessarily in Metroid Prime 1, but it wasn't one that I expected someone to make a really good remix out of. That's what this one is. Let's see here. The user that wrote this is named Nfett, but I wasn't able to find a channel for them. So the letter N and then dash FETT. It's a dubstep remix, but the person who posted it, the username is Prime Minister. So like, I don't know. It's if y'all can find Nfett's channel, or I don't know, maybe they just stick to like Spotify or Bandcamp or those kinds of uploads. Okay, so this needs to move. Probably it's a little better. Oh, it made a new layer? I don't want it on a new layer. I want it on the faceline layer. Wow, wow. Gotta have the wubs. Gotta have the wubs in the dubstep. I hope you all don't mind that I don't talk 100% of the stream. From what I understand, people don't mind that when they watch art streams. Just like to vibe with the music, watch the art. But just wanted to be sure. Oh no! My chat monitor. Crud. Hey, what's up, Undead Levi? Welcome. It's been a while since we've seen you in one of these. Appreciate you popping in. Bing bong. Bong bing. Normally I have my tablet as my chat monitor right in front of me, but I forgot to plug it in like a doofus and it died, so... And I look over at Discord, or not Discord, I look over at OBS to take care of all the chat looking. Hold on, I gotta bring it back up. That. Come on, load for me. Is that... Why you no brush? Oh, I was on eraser. Like a dingbat. Gotta find the center of... Kind of fixing some of the shape here. Ope Unfort? I know Ope. We got we got someone from the Midwest in the chat there, Levi. As for Unfort, I am unfamiliar. I am not down with the sickness on that. Okay. My live chat monitor right in front of me is restored. There. Good. That way it's front and center and I can see when you guys comment. I'll see it blip into existence. Oh, unfortunate. Okay. That makes sense. Usually when I learn these things, it makes sense. The thing is, I usually learn these things from you guys, because I... I'm not sure I'm down with those irises. Hold on. This is usually when I do the most tweaking on facial features. This is when I'm doing the line work, which I know is a little ass backwards, but I don't know. My muscle memory isn't as well tuned as some artists. Some artists, they could just like practice it a few times and it's good. I am not one of those people. It is very much a war of attrition with the canvas. Starting to look better. Alright, there we go. So let's get some actual straight lines going here. What I'm putting here, the tear duct, what I'm putting here is called a water line. And that subtle detail, as I said, the eyes are the most expressive part of the face, but that subtle detail, that's actually like a little bit of the pink of like the eyelid, like the underneath part of your eyelid. That's called a water line right there. And you do that because it goes a really long way in making your drawings look ever so slightly more human. Okay, so there we go. Get a little line width variation here. Clean it up a little bit. Yeah, see, once we zoom out, the details start to pop when you get the variable line widths going. These lines are very messy. Onions love the water line. Yes, they do. And of course, whenever we refer to onions, we have to make the obligatory Shrek reference. Humans have water lines? Drawings should have water lines. It's layers. Just like the ogres have layers. And so does the drawing right here. It also has layers. It's all like an onion. What are you doing in my swamp? Yeah, but if y'all have noticed any details that look funky, let me know. I will try to fix. I will attempt to fix. Okay. So we got one eye. Gotta get some. Gotta make it a little bloodshot. But because Samus's blood at this point is mostly Phazon, getting toward 100% Phazon corruption, as a matter of fact. We gotta have the uncomfortable cyan capillaries spidering along her sclera. We'll make those pop a while later. to the color we had before. Oh! You didn't give me the hand. Alright. Now for this eye, it's actually going to have to come over here a little bit more. It's looking alright from close up. I hope it doesn't look terrible when we zoom out. Okay, there we go. And then the lashes. Oop. Get those reference lashes that all the other ones kind of follow the trajectory of. Is this another Wingus Dingus arrangement? Yes, this is another Wingus Dingus arrangement. Good stuff. And then we're going to have to move the iris over as well. To align with the other one. Pupil's got to be a lot smaller than that if it's going to be... The mouth is going to need some work. We'll come back to that, but the mouth is going to need some work. What? What is this? What is this cursor? I don't know what this is. Okay, so that's not helping me. Okay, that's working fine. Why is my lasso a weird cursor that I don't want? There's always something with these programs. Yeah, something's up with that first eye a little bit, too. It's off axis. It's off axis. I feel like this eye is actually on axis. This one is not. And I think it's because of this eyebrow line here. Eyebrow needs to go up. Unfortunately, this is not letting me select anything. Well, let me do it if I switch tools. No, the cursor's the same. I'm gonna have to look this up. Ah! See, that's the thing about learning new programs, is they always have their little quirks. Okay, so... Affinity Photo 2. Selection cursor changed and won't select anything. Let's see here. Nope. I don't want a selection tutorial. I know how to select things. Stuck cursor. Selection tool pointer. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Gotta save that. I gotta close this for a second. Oh. Never mind that. Alright, hold on. I will see if restarting the program will fix our issue. File. No, same issue. Oh, it's already got a selection. Odd. That was weird. Why did it do that? Okay. All right, now we can select. Weird. So it already had a selection active, and it was like a really big selection for some reason. Anyway, now we should be able to move this up. Okay. Select. Deselect. And then this. Okay, I think the eyes are a little less off axis now. Yeah, they look a little bit more unified. Alright. It's gonna kind of do a low opacity pass on the eye lines on the right side. These lines are very dark, very heavy. Need a softer brush for that on the eraser. Basic. Let's go for, that's too fat. That's better. Now it's at 100% opacity again. Torvus Bog. That's what this one's from. That analog bass hits real hard, dude. Alright, let's see here. Another Wingus Dingus arrangement. Not too shabby. I feel like the hair kind of condenses it a little much from the sketch. So we'll probably want to give the hair a little more volume. But I think the face line is coming along. And look, I know that I've spent an hour just getting to this point on the line work, but this is how important facial proportion is. It is that important. It can really make or break everything that comes afterwards. Alright. So, I think face line is good for now. We're gonna come back to it later when I don't have that like eye fatigue thing that like where you stop seeing what you're actually drawing and your brain starts interpreting what you're drawing instead. So we're gonna move on to the hair. Or not sketch, no. Hairline, not sketch. There we go. Paintbrush tool. That is very thin. Why is that so thin? Wow. I had that line real small. Oh, and the stabilizer's off. Oops. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. Lead from the arm. It's unfortunate because if the hair stays this way, it's going to make it so that I have to erase a lot of this intricate, angry brow work I did. Oh, goodness. It is what it is. There are some artists that actually do keep that underneath. It's just they'll have the color of the hair over top, and then, you know, it kind of maintains the expression. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see how it looks in the final product. We're kind of trying to go for a bit more of a unkempt hairstyle here. That is very pretty. With the heartbeat in the background, oh man. That is such a good musical arrangement. A little more disparate in the hair strands. Nah, I don't know if I like that. Might be a little too chunky. I like the lines of motion here, but I think I'm gonna shrink them down a little bit. My eraser to be full opacity again. This was actually an acoustic Phendrana remix by BG Ollie. He's got like a banjo in there. Is that a mandolin? Or like a lute? I don't know. He's got a bunch of like really cool acoustic instruments. And he's got a harp. Good stuff. That's a little more dynamic with the separated wisps. A little more clarity on there too. You know what this line art is reminding me of? I don't know if you guys remember the very first Jurassic Park movie, and I think she was also in Jurassic Park. It was the one after the Chris Pratt one. What was that one again? I can't remember. I need to know, Sir Crossbat, how well would you endure a very sad OC background for 4 different OCs? I think that would be something perfect for the Discord. I mean, keep in mind, I've got my own OCs. I am no stranger to tragic backstories. You know what I mean? Samus as well here. Definitely no stranger to tragic backstory material. Oh yeah. The Toxic Eternity cover. But anyway, what I was saying is my line art here is starting to remind me of Dr. Sattler from the first Jurassic Park movie, and then she was also in the one where basically all of the cast members from the first one, except for John Hammond, because that guy passed away. But yeah, it's reminding me of Ellie from the Jurassic Park movies. Yeah, Fallen Kingdom, that was the one. But yeah, she was in that one also. And she was also in the second Jurassic Park movie. But it was only for like... Or no. She was in the third Jurassic Park movie, but it was only for like a very small amount of time. Because she got a distress call from Dr. Grant. And then she called in, like, I don't know, the U.S. Coast Guard or something to go out there and go pick them up on Isla Sorno. I know too much about that. I'm such a nerd. Maybe slightly too much volume on there. Why is my eraser not erasing? Sorna. Okay, I guess I'm not as much of a nerd as I thought. Why is the flow only 25%, dude? I need more. I need more power. While I erase all the things that I need to erase. Why is it not doing it? What? I didn't put any of it on the face line. Oh, the new one's coming out Wednesday. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't know exactly when. I don't know. I don't get out to theaters a whole lot lately. And that's not just me. That's apparently like an industry-wide trend that Hollywood is very much panicking over. I am confused, Raw. Why you know erase the thing I tell you to erase? Alright, maybe we'll just kind of smooth it out, unify it a little bit. Make all these look like a bunch of stray wispies of hair. Another dubstep remix. Alright. Got the ear. Alright, hair's looking a lot more fluid than it was in the sketch. Not too bad. Yeah, because the sketch looked a lot more like that. Pretty flat in comparison. So yeah. Yeah, more volume, more wisps. More good. More gooder. Sketch out of there again. I gotta reduce the opacity of the sketch because I still kind of need it there-ish a little bit. Okay, and then my pure ref. So we're gonna have Nick. Wrong tool. Give me my brush back. And deselect. Let's see, hold on. Window. No, mode. Always on top of photo 2. Yes. That's what we want. We don't want you to disappear. We want you to stay there so I can reference while I draw. Hello? Where are my lines? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. Gets me every time. Okay, well, no, since we're deviating from the face, probably gonna want to go for body line on a new layer. So let's do that. New layer. There we go. Okay, so right where the earlobe meets the jaw here, that's where the neckline kind of comes down, and then goes down here to meet the clavicle, then it kind of crests right there. do you guys think? You think she looks angry and in pain enough? Keep grabbing the stuff that I don't want to grab. Get back in your place. Get back in your place, gray background. And I'm gonna have to stretch you out so that you cover the whole canvas. Lock so you don't move again. On the wrong layer. Once again, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, so body line. So coming off of her ear, her back muscle kind of comes over this way. Then from there, you got the shoulder muscle. Okay. And all the subcutaneous tendons and connectors in the arm. Cleaner. Draw with the shoulder, not the wrist. That really does help a lot. The thing is, if you're not accustomed to it, it's going to make your arm tired initially when you start doing it, and you're going to hate every second of it. Just like me. But if you stick to drawing from your shoulder and use your entire arm instead, Then, turns out better. Okay. Starting to flesh it out. Almost right. What about that is off to my brain? Why does my eraser not erase? It's not on eraser? Why was it? What? Eraser. Program. So, from what I understand, Affinity Photo is known to have some bugs. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't get too dependent on. Maybe this is a sign from the universe being like, hey, stop with your toxic perfectionism and erasing everything all the time. Just let it be. Let it be good enough. There we go. The little twisty tendon on the arm there. Come on. The shoulder's getting tired. I'm feeling it. I'm getting the shoulder fatigue. Ooh. Calibration, please. Oh, wait, no, that's not the elbow. Elbow's here. Okay, so that's like... Yeah, that's that little muscle that comes in next to the elbow. Did I go through all my tracks? I would throw my tracks in my playlist. Popular vote in the chat, I guess. Do you guys want me to switch to a different playlist? Or would you prefer that I stick to the Metroid one? Because I have like a general gaming playlist as well that's got a few bangers in there. Stuff. All the game music that I pick out absolutely slaps. I'm not biased at all. My music selection is flawless and perfect and universally enjoyed by all. Okay. I'm just going to keep drawing until y'all tell me what I should do, though, with the music situation. La, la, la. Wow, 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 wow. But don't. Either pick a playlist or you'll have to suffer through that the whole time. Oh, goodness. I crack myself up. There. Mouse, I did not tell you to draw. What are you doing? That is Stylus Pen's job, not yours. I need to do studies of hand muscles. That's what I need to do. That'll probably, I mean, that'll be really difficult, but it'll probably improve my hands considerably. Hand muscle and hand skeletal structure. Because as all artists have reported, I'm sure you've heard them, hands are incredibly difficult. Possibly even more difficult than good facial proportion. Those look larger in the reference to me. And always remember that the fingers are connected to other parts of the hand. Tricky. Oh, this tests. This tests the skill. Alright, I guess I'll just continue with the same playlist. Ain't nobody answering me. Do this one. We shuffle it again. Shuffled the playlist so it doesn't play the exact same stuff in the exact same order. Do. not perfect. The first fingy I drew particularly needs work. I'm very confused as to why that doesn't work. Excuse me? Is it the flow? It is the flow. Weird. Why would 40% flow have, like, 0 result? Oh, as always with hands, it's gonna need work. The hands are gonna need work. Hopefully this looks alright when it's finished, because it's deviating from the sketch quite a lot. I'm either going ultra instinct on this hand right now, or I'm going ultra fail. My eraser's not working again. There it goes. I don't know if I went full on Ultra Instinct. This finger is slightly shorter than it should be. There we go. Okay, I need to bring the sketch up in opacity just a little bit. Wrong one. Okay. Foreshortening's actually working out. Oh my goodness. Tricky stuff. My goal was to finish Lineart this evening. Stop it. Give me my grabby tools so I can move. we got that. More or less got the figure in. Zoom into this one. Nope. Zoom into this one so we can get like the various lines and patterns on the suit. So it looks like we're dealing with... That terminates about here. Why are you on grabby hand? I shouldn't be on grabby hand. That was a glitch. Erase that and make it follow better. Beep 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 boop. Boop beep beep beep. So that comes all the way down from the neck. That's a darker hue. So then we're coming straight up like that. That. Okay, now the other side. That's going to terminate further down, like right there. Tricky. Getting that to follow the perspective. In order to fight the perfectionism, I gotta ask myself, is it 80% of the way there compared to where I would like it to be? If the answer is yes, we move on. And I guess I would give myself a B. I would give myself a B minus. So an exact 80%. Dooga. It's too high up the arm. Needs to go more right there. Oh, big goof. Go. Okay. So that's going to so there's that. And there's another one. Keep it the same width. Same width. Throughout. There we go. It's a little bit better. It's stiff though. From the shoulder. There we go. 80%. Okay, so dark, light, dark. Okay, and then that follows all the way down there. Okay. That is tricky, man. Tricky, tricky, tricky. There we go. Got the suit. It's coming along. It's coming along. We're doing it. Okay. Of course, I want some semblance of background lines. Maybe it'd be better to actually do lines. Oh, what? There's no straight line tool? Oh, good. Okay. This is an old trick from Photoshop. Shift? Nope. It doesn't close the line. No. Oh, no. What's the line tool then? Rounded. Pie tool. Donut arrow. Square. Double star. Star tool. Polygon. Trapezoid diamond. Rounded. Rectangle. Ellipse. Rectangle. Oof. How do I make a perfectly straight line then? Am I gonna have to cheese it? There's probably a better way to do this in Affinity Photo, but I don't know what it is, so we're gonna... Put a line like that. And basically use the selection as a guide. There we go. And erase the part that is erase the part that's on the hand. There we go. Not too shabby. Wee woo wee woo wee woo. Ah, ah, ah. Do 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 do. So that goes down to her knee. Oh no. Oh no. Of course my my reference is not exactly like my drawing. I give it some space. This comes up out the top of her head. How long has the live been going on for? We're looking at about 3 hours now. So it's been a hot minute. It's been a good chunk of time. But as I said, I wanted to at least finish my line work. No. Oh. Wanted to at least finish my line work. I need at least some semblance of grounding for the background here. Okay, and then comes out the middle of the head, and then crest like that. Making guidelines. Because I don't know what better way to do this. I'm a slow drawer. It's just so everybody knows. Once I get to the shading phase and the color phase, things will come together much quicker. But line work, believe it or not, for me at least, is a bit more of a laborious process. Most of that line's going. It's in the right spot, though. deselect. Alright, so there's that. Alright. We'll select. That goes right above the shoulder. And then it kind of goes this way. Okay, and then right where the shoulder connects to the armpit, roughly, come straight across to about halfway the forearm, and then here. Yes. I know I'm cheesing these straight lines, but apparently the line tool is conspicuously absent in Affinity Photo. So, and then about here is where that line terminates. Come on, select. Oh, come on, select, deselect. Thank you. Erase a little too much of that line. And down to the top of the thigh here. Go a little further down so that it's closer to the angle that is in the reference. Yep, not perfect, but we do our best. No. Erase there. Oh, I forgot the foot and the calf. No. Okay, foot in the calf. Alright, so we gotta go to the body line. It has a little bit more of a heel, doesn't it? Hold up. Right? Yeah, it's got a little bit of a heel on it. In Metroid Dread, they very appropriately reduced the high heelness of those on the Zero Suit. Completely impractical. Whereas these, yeah, you could kick someone in the face in those and it'd work. Wouldn't have any trouble. Maybe I'm exaggerating this a little too much. That is tricky. Okay. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look right. The heel is too bulky. actually looks okay-ish. Alright. And then suit line, we're gonna have to draw this little design here. So that comes off of what? Not perfect, but okay. Suit line, there's actually some stray stuff I need to erase right there. Alright. Looks like we got it, everybody, for the line art, at least. So yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream here, but we're gonna come back with this, and the next time we're gonna do color, like flat color, and then we're gonna do some shading, and we might even play around with some gradient maps, and then of course we'll do like compositing stuff after that, like adjustment layers, brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, etc., etc. But I think it's coming together. I think it's coming together. We may yet alter some of these features. Now that I'm looking back at it again close up, there's a few bits and pieces that need some tweaking, but overall, I think it's coming along. So I appreciate you guys watching the stream, and we'll see you in the next one. Toodles!